What's going on, y'all? Hopefully, everybody had a blessed day. Just got home from the shop. Nice, busy day. As I was coming home, I started to replay a conversation that I was having with the gentleman today. So, the newspaper came and interviewed me today. So, they're doing an article about drug awareness, and they sort of asked about my story and how drugs have impacted my life before, during, and after. The journalist that was doing the article, he asked me, in my opinion, what did I think of gateway drugs? What did I think of alcohol? And then he asked me, what do I think the worst drug is out there? And it made me think. So for myself, I have only tried opiates, alcohol, marijuana, and I tried cocaine when I was younger. I tried it twice, and both times I had absolutely horrible experiences, and I said, nah, that's not for me. I thought, what is personally for me, opiates are 100% the worst drug. And that's just speaking from a personal standpoint. You could not pay me to do anything that makes me hyper, cocaine, meth, anything like that, any type of upper, you couldn't pay me to do. I just do not like it. So a matter of fact, before I get into that, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get back to 500 likes. It's an easy way to support the channel if you like the content. If you don't like the content, by all means, don't like. Hit the dislike button. So that shows YouTube that this video has some worth, and they'll begin to push it out to more people. It's a quick way to support the channel. Don't cost you a penny. Like I said, for me, opiates 100% the worst thing. So let me tell y'all about the two bad experiences I had when I tried nose candy for the first time, right? So the first time, I still remember, it was 2004. At the time, I was in the streets getting money, and I had some powder. I had a friend that had asked me, yo, can you do me a favor? Can you, bring me a little bit of powder? I don't know why I said that like real sneaky, like I had. That was weird. I know y'all noticed that. I was like, so anyway, he asked me that, and we were going out. It was a Friday night. It was snowing heavy. I still remember I had a nice red leather coat on. I ended up trying it, right? The absolute worst thing I could have done. It made me hyper. I was like, I remember grinding my teeth. I remember I drank some cold water, and it tasted so different. Like, it didn't taste like normal water. I don't know if because my mouth was numb, my throat was, whatever it was. That water tasted very different. I ain't never tasted a bottle of water since or before. Long story short, I ended up losing my coat. Any of y'all know Averex coats were a big thing back in the day. I ended up losing the coat. That's not the bad part. The coat, it might have been a $1,500, $2,000 coat. That's not the bad part. The bad part is I had $10,000 in my inside pocket. Another bad part is I had a pistol in the coat, and I had a cell phone in the coat. I was worried about if somebody finds it and they call the cops find it, because it, like I said, it was snowing. Leather coat was red. So I was like, if somebody comes upon that, what if they think it's somebody bleeding in the snow? I said, what if they call the cops, and the cops come, find the coat, find the money, find the cell phone, and find the pistol? Long story short, I backtracked for literally 2 hours trying to find the coat. I found the spot where it was at, and I only knew it was there is because I seen the end date, and then I found the cell phone. So whoever it was went through the pockets, took the money, took the coat, and just dumped the cell phone right out into the snow. The second time that I tried it, because the first time wasn't bad enough, because that wasn't a horrible experience. And mind you, I was up all night. I didn't go to bed until I don't know. I didn't sleep at all. I was up in the morning. It was 6. I'm not that type of dude. I'm a sleepyhead. I need my sleep, and I need my sleep at night. I don't need my sleep at 6 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. I need my sleep at 11 o'clock at night. And it didn't happen. I ended up trying to take a NyQuil and all different types of stuff. Didn't work. It was a horrible experience. One of the worst experiences of my life. And because that wasn't bad enough, I decided, you know what? Let me try it again. Same thing. I was out with some friends. I sort of had the mindset, it was like, maybe just because I lost the money and lost code, that it made it a bad experience. And maybe that I just have that memory associated with that event. And that was the bad experience for me. Turns out that it wasn't. Turns out that me and the powder, we just don't go together at all. So the second time, mind you, this is way before Rachel. I had a girlfriend. Me and my homies would go to the strip club. So strip club's closing down. So we decided to take the strip club back to my homie's house. Needless to say, my girlfriend sees that I'm not home. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Drives past this house that we used to have. It was like a trap house. And sees my car outside. Mind you, this is a bachelor pad / trap house. We don't have no curtains on the window. Nothing. She sees my car. She comes to walk up, and she just happens to look in the window. And what does she see? We brought the strip club to the crib. Mind you, I wasn't getting a lap dance or anything, but she sees these 3 girls dancing. Yeah, needless to say, it was a bad night. I told myself 1 time, maybe an accident, 2 times, nah. Like that old saying, if 3 people tell you got a tail, you got a tail. I start looking. Mind you, I never did did it again, and I never will do it again. Alcohol, I think alcohol is a very, very dangerous drug. It's extremely socially accepted. People use alcohol to celebrate. They also use alcohol as a reward. I had a hard week at work. I had a hard day. I'm stressed out. Let me have a beer. It's not viewed as dangerous as it is. Alcohol, let me see. Let me just make sure. How many people does alcohol kill a year? Okay, so more than 140,000 people in the United States die from excessive alcohol use every year. Estimates that alcohol kills 3 million people throughout the world every year. So alcohol kills 3 million people a year. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. So many people die from alcohol, but from different ways. You know, they get drunk, they get into a car accident, they get drunk, they drown, you know, all different types of stuff like that. They get drunk, they fall, they hit their head, they get drunk, they get into a fight. And then not to mention actual alcohol from alcohol poisoning. Then you got cirrhosis of the liver. Then you got other illnesses that are associated with alcohol. Alcohol, before xylazine and the fentanyl came around, there was only 2 drugs that you could die from withdrawing from. One was benzos, the second was alcohol. So think about how dangerous that is. And think about how young, usually the majority of us, alcohol is like one of the first drugs that we try, because a lot of our parents might have beer in the refrigerator, might have a bar in the house. Think about that. Alcohol is just as deadly, if not, let me see, I'm gonna look up how many people does heroin kill a year. I'll say fentanyl. It's not giving me an exact number. So I bet you alcohol is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous than anything else. From alcohol, we'll go to tobacco. Tobacco, we all know, is extremely dangerous. I think we are now starting to see just how dangerous that tobacco can be. You remember when we were young, we would see people in commercials and movies smoking cigarettes. Doctors used to smoke cigarettes. They used to have ads in magazines. Now that's not the case. You don't see any type of advertising associated with tobacco use. There's been a lot of restrictions. Like, we all know just how dangerous tobacco is. On the flip side, vaping, where vaping is sort of looked at as a safer alternative to smoking cigarettes. But I bet you in 10 or 15 or 20 years, the same way that we found out just how deadly smoking cigarettes was, you know, using chewing tobacco, that's the same way we're going to be looking at vaping. I don't think anything that we ingest in our lungs is good for us, right? I don't think it could be. That's like our filter. We clog that filter up and pollute that filter, we're in trouble. So then from there, we'll go to powder. I think powder is extremely dangerous overall. I don't think it's nowhere near on level as rock form, you know, and I'm choosing my vocabulary very cautiously because of YouTube's guidelines. Understand that. You know, the hard form, I think it's a lot more addicting, a lot more mentally addicting for people. Remember when that first came out in the 80s? You know, there was people selling their babies. You know, that was turning people into straight monsters. Sort of the way that the fentanyl and the xylazine is now. The crack epidemic, and now we have the opiate epidemic. The thing about cocaine, the thing about powder, they say it's not, when it comes to withdrawal, not really physical symptoms associated with withdrawal, that it's more mental. I could definitely see how that could be. And the thing about it is, once you try that, you got to use it again like that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to use it so much more often, it seems like. Or that's the way it's consumed, is, you know, every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, every 5 minutes. Then we will go into opiates. I think any form of opiates are extremely dangerous. You think about the people that lose their lives overdosing. It was just 140,000 people that passed in Kensington last year. 2 fentanyl in Kensington this year led the nation. Nowhere else had a deadlier year than Kensington. Think about that. Kensington is a very small area also. Very small. Kensington, you know, you could drive in and out of Kensington in 10 minutes. The rest of Philly is rather big, but Kensington is very, very small. Withdrawal, absolutely horrible. I don't know about now with the fentanyl and the xylazine, but I know back in the day, going through withdrawal from just normal opiates, heroin, that was horrible. You know, you didn't sleep for a month. Literally, you would be up for a whole month straight. You would have the shakes. You would be cold. You'd be hot. You'd have diarrhea. You were vomiting. You couldn't sit still. It was horrible. It was the absolute worst thing that I have ever been through. It was the flu times like 100. And then not to mention you're having these crazy dreams. The worst part of it for me was always not being able to sleep. There'd be times when I was in jail going through withdrawal that I'd feel tired in the daytime, but I wouldn't go to sleep. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm not going to go to sleep, and try to save that sleep up for the nighttime. And then I'd be so excited because I would think, all right, I'm going to get a good night's sleep, and it wouldn't come. I'd be up the whole night. And then, you know, when you're up the whole night, your mind starts to wander cancer, not to mention the mental effects that it has. It was horrible. Something I would never want to experience again, and I sort of don't wish on anybody. Now I think about what would that be like in this day and age. I understand it would be way worse. You know, xylazine, for people that don't know, xylazine is a horse tranquilizer. It just became illegal because it's not even made for human consumption. That's why you see the people breaking out with these sores and these ulcers, because when they shoot, it starts to break down the skin around it, and it looks for the easiest way out. Hence, you see the ulcers, you see the sores, you smell the infection. You see people running around with loss of limbs, lost leg, lost arm, holes. I've never seen anything like that. People that I speak to and all the knowledge that I have just from being around it, like I said, I've never used xylazine. I used fentanyl. That's what I ended up overdosing and ended up getting clean when that first came around. People say that they start going to withdrawal within like 2 to 3 hours of their first use, of their last use. So imagine that. Back in the day, you would be able to last, if you got some good dope, you would be able to get high 2 or 3 times in the day, and you'd be good. Now you have to use every 2 hours. People, they're going to sleep and they're waking up sick already in the withdrawal process. Then you throw the fentanyl, you throw the xylazine, you throw all the barbiturates that they have in it now. I'd have to say that is the most dangerous substance out there right now. You see a quick decline. Now, hold up. We got to touch on the meth too. The meth, it's a monster. I think it's up there with the fentanyl and the xylazine. I think what makes the fentanyl and the xylazine worse than meth is the withdrawal, the ulcers, and the potency. Somebody that tries fentanyl for the first time, they could 100% die. You try meth for the first time, you're not really going to die, but fentanyl, 100%. There's people that have tried fentanyl for the first time and they're not here. I think you can see in the statistics just how dangerous that is. In my opinion, 100%, I would say the most deadly drug are the opiates, namely fentanyl, namely carfentanil. So they say that fentanyl is 50 to 100 times stronger than heroin, and carfentanil is stronger than that. Carfentanil is used as an elephant tranquilizer. So you think about that. I remember probably maybe the year 2000, 2019, right around there was a city in Ohio that had experienced, it was like 15 overdoses in the course of a weekend because it was the first time that carfentanil and that fentanyl had hit that city. So people were using it and not realizing they were playing with fire. They thought they were using the same old dope that they got and didn't know that's jam-packed with fentanyl and carfentanil. And it was, maybe I'll do a story on that one time. It was, it was literally like 15, 20 people that had passed from overdoses in this one weekend in Ohio, I believe, or maybe it was Cleveland. It was one of those places. Matter of fact, it was Ohio. I don't know. But anyway, so for me, I would have to say the opiates are, the dependency is ridiculous, especially now. The withdrawal is physical, mental, psychological, emotional, it's everything. Literally everything you think. I think like any part of your body or every part of your body is affected when you use opiates. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick, y'all. Do me a favor, hit that like button. If you got any value out of this video, I thank you guys. Have a great day and remember to stay kind, loving, and patient. Stay blessed, y'all.